stop. We go all in now, hit first, hit hard, win, and come home. That's what we should be doing.
One of the big problems that you see in Washington is that there's a bureaucracy that runs behind the Congress and the Senate and the executive branch. And it's a perpetual machine. It keeps perpetuating itself. It keeps hiring people who change the rules behind the scenes and warps the legislator's intent. How do you fight that?
Defund it, because you're right. We have, you've heard the stat before, 2.9 million private sector jobs lost in the last year and a half, over 400,000 federal jobs gained. Just engorging the bureaucracy. Taking out, and let's not forget what federal jobs are. They exist on your tax dollar. So we continue to engorge the federal government, take people off of the tax rolls, and we're broke. We're completely broke. You have to start defunding these programs and start demanding accountability at the end of every single year. Every program, every single bureaucracy should have to come stand before Congress and give an accounting of what you've done with the American people's dollar and what you've done to protect our rights.
What can we do about this hemorrhaging at our border?
Build a double-layer border fence now. They built in San Diego, violent crime dropped by 54% as soon as they built it. Double-layer fence, paved road in between it, it works. El Paso, built, it works. Yuma, built, went from 138,000 arrests one year to 3,800 the next. The Border Patrol agents want to be on the border, build a fence, put the Border Patrol agents on the fence, which is exactly where they want to be, and we'll be just fine. Also, employer sanctions, we don't need new laws, just enforce the current ones. Between E-Verify and the I-9s, we have exactly what we need in place, and it would also be nice if we weren't sued for asking for a driver's license. Also, we have to know that Gabrielle Giffords, by the way, I've been endorsed by the National Border Patrol Council, and I found out after sitting with them that Gabrielle Giffords sat down with them and told them what they needed. After they told her what they needed, she said, no, that's not what you need, and then informed them. I had no idea she had
a general.
I had no idea she spent so much time in the Border Patrol, that she knew what our Border Patrol agents needed. That's the arrogance in Washington right now. Embarrassing.
What's your feeling on having troops on the border and you know, how many of them we're far too short of what we need, but what's your feeling on that?
Well, if we're going to send down our trained National Guard troops to observe and report, they just don't send anything. Send thousands, send them with the authority to apprehend illegal immigrants until the fence is built, and send them now. But no, we get this election year garbage of another photo op for Gabrielle Giffords on the border with the 10 National Guard troops who we sent down there to be secretaries. They're not trained to be secretaries, they're troops and they're trained well. Let them do their job. So yes, I'm fine with it. Send them and send them now. We are in trouble. People are dying here. We're literally, American citizens are dying. And we get politicians' words like comprehensive immigration reform.
435. You have to be one of them. I don't believe that the Bush tax cuts are going to be extended. It's leaning, to me, it looks that way. You guys have an opportunity to repeal, but have you, or do you know of a group within your own Congress there on the other side of the aisle that's willing to support going back to undo half of the stuff that's been done to us without our knowledge? That's the issue that I have right now, because I think that come January 1st, everybody's going to see their taxes go up. I don't believe they're going to go down or stay the same. They're going to go up.
What's your question?
The question was, are you prepared to work across the aisle with Democrats who have like-minded, or are you prepared to make the deals with them to get these types of legislations passed?
Well, I can't talk in hypotheticals, and I never will, about will you do this, will you do that. If a Democrat wants to cut taxes for this country, then yeah, we're working together, absolutely, without hesitation. I'm not running for to be a Republican Party hack. I'm not running to stand against the Democrats every time. I'm running as a conservative Republican. That's what I believe in. And if the Democrats want to come over, and if some blue dogs still actually exist, and we want to talk about stopping spending and cutting taxes, then yeah, let's work together. And if not, no. Sorry. Then we will defeat you instead. So.
Sure, but it's where how many czars the president has. I'm kind of curious. We elect a man and pay him handsomely for the rest of his life, which I think is crazy why we pay somebody to not work anymore. But we also we're paying these czars. Why do we elect somebody that has to have 30 people to tell him how to do his own job, and how can we stop this kind of ignorance?
Well, now you're talking about a much bigger problem about why we did elect people. Because let's keep in mind we did elect him. More Americans voted for him than voted for God.
I didn't vote for him.
No, I realize that. I'm not talking to most of the people in this room. And more people voted for Gabrielle Giffords than voted for Tim B the last time. How did that happen? That's awful. It's just awful. And you ask how you change that? You change it one person at a time. And I know that sounds small, and it's too small, it's not enough, we have to have millions, the entire country has to change. It really doesn't. Tell your friends, tell the people you work with, they'll in turn do the same and we'll be fine. We need to start being activists and stop being voters. It is a 70-30 country, 70% conservative, 30% complete liberals like Gabrielle Giffords. All right? The reason that they win is because they don't just vote, they're activists. They drag their 10 friends, they tell all their friends, they make up lies about Social Security, the fair tax, and then they get to the polls. We need to be engaging we need less of that because for one, we have more people, and for two, we have the truth on our side. Gabrielle Giffords has more money than me. She needs more. It costs 2 or 3 times as much to lie than it does to tell the truth. And that's the same approach. We simply inform people of the truth. This is the reality of life. Every single person I talk to about that health care bill that is supportive of it. Now, there are not a lot of them, but every person I talk to, you start going down the list of the things that are in it. I mean, you talk about the IRS agents and the taxes and the taking over of the student loan program for health care and the new tax on new home sales and all these other things. They say they disagree with everything in it, but they like the bill. No, you don't. That's the bill. I just described it to you. So it gets frustrating, but don't stop. Just start talking to people. That's all. Talk to people about it, man.
Do you plan on coming out stronger with your TV ads? And before you answer that question, I'd like to humbly suggest that you come out with ads that are your platform, because we believe in your platform.
Mm-hmm.
And don't trash her, don't waste time trashing her. Come out with what your platform is, because that's what the people want to hear.
Yeah.
Well, we've got both, and it's important to do both. The thing with politics is if you were to poll every American, actually they've done this, 90% of people would say they hate negative politics. And then the other 90%, they've done this as well, would show them a negative ad and say, well, that works. So, the truth of the matter is we've had several calls to the office of people asking us why we're going to take away their Social Security. Not everybody's like you. Not everybody takes the time to look into it. And that's why. You have to present yourself. And we've done that on TV, and we will before. For our first 3 months of ads, it was a presentation of who we are. And we'll do it again coming up. But the truth of the matter is I've been to multiple events now where a representative speaking for Giffords, you know she doesn't want to talk to the peasants. She sends someone else out. Where a representative speaking for Giffords has said she stands up for Nancy Pelosi, stands up to Nancy Pelosi. She's a fiscal conservative blue dog, one of the most moderate Democrats in the House. That's what they're saying about themselves. So as soon as they stop lying about themselves, I'll stop telling the truth about them. And that's just the truth of the matter. We have to tell people what she's done. Because she's not going to.
But your platform is important.
It is, and that's coming as well. And another thing on that, and I know this is harsh, but the truth is, advice is free. Advertising is not. We need checks. And you want to know how many more ads we're going to run or mailers we're going to send? Tell me how big of a check you're going to run. And that is harsh. And I know it stinks, and I hate asking people for money. But that is a reality of life. If I were personally wealthy, believe me, I'd just drop it all in there myself and just dominate. But I'm not. I'm spend it all on this thing. It's all gone. So we need help. I'm my own biggest donor. So
I just had a couple of comments and a question for you. First of all, I just retired out of the Army, was in Iraq just like you, so
Yes.
thanks for your service.
Thank you.
But I've been apolitical my whole life because I was an officer, so I was supposed to take it all, you know.